After discussing V3 3B yesterday, it's now time to talk about MYDEI. There's been quite a buzz across various platforms about how MYDEI has become an increasingly powerful character. Is that true? So in this video, let's dive into some of the changes made to MYDEI. And as usual, since this is V3 and can be considered as the final changes, I'll also include a few possible builds recommendations that suit him. So let's get started. MYDEI is a limited DPS character with the imaginary element, following the path of destruction. He is the second DPS whose damage scales off his HP. MYDEI's strongest attack comes from his enhanced skill, which he can use upon entering a specific mode. This mode is triggered by reducing his HP through his own skills or taking damage from enemies. Additionally, he has self-healing capabilities in his kit. As for his base stats, there are no changes in this version. Basic attack and skill remain the same with only minor rewarding. However, his talent underwent significant changes. For every 1% of HP loss, MYDEI gains 1 charge point, up to a maximum of 200 points. Once his charge points reach 100, MYDEI enters his Vendetta mode, consuming the same amount of points in the process. When his charge points reach 150, he gains an extra turn and unleashes his enhanced skill, Godslayer Be God. So yes, instead of just receiving a 50% action advance, MYDEI can now immediately attack, which is a fantastic news, right? Moreover, for every 100 HP exceeding 6000, MYDEI's charge point accumulation rate increases by 1.66%, and he gains a 0.5% healing bonus. This means the higher MYDEI max HP, the faster his charge points build up, allowing for more frequent use of his enhanced skills. MYDEI exits Vendetta mode if he receives a fatal blow, but he will recover 50% of his max HP upon exiting. However, the biggest improvements come from his ultimate and one of his traces, which make him a much more stronger unit and potentially very worth pulling for. MYDEI's ultimate still deals imaginary damage to 3 targets, scaling off his HP. However, it no longer immediately heals him. Instead, MYDEI gains Death Proof for 2 turns. While in this state, MYDEI restores HP every time he takes damage. The best part lies in his Trace 1. When MYDEI is in Death Proof, a state obtained through his ultimate, he will not exit Vendetta mode, even if he takes fatal damage, and his HP will remain at 1. There is no further clarification stating that Death Proof will disappear after taking fatal damage, meaning he is essentially immortal while Death Proof is active. However, despite how incredible this trait sounds, support units or even MYDEI himself that can offer action advance could cause the death proof duration to run out faster. This makes his ultimate a critical part of his kit. As for Trace 2, it is not entirely new. MYDEI gains immunity to crowd control effects while in Vendetta mode, but this description was already part of his ultimate in previous versions. Other changes include buffs to his enhanced skill Kingslayer, which received a slight multiplier increase, and enhanced skill Godslayer, which got a significant multiplier boost. This adjustment is understandable as his kit no longer uses the HP loss tally mechanism for damage scaling. There's also good news regarding his technique. Now, when activated and upon entering the battle, MYDEI will guaranteedly apply taunt to enemies, rather than relying on a base chance that could fail due to high enemy effect resistance. So these are the notable changes to MYDEI's kit in this version. If you are interested in his eidolons, here's the explanation. Unlike 3B, all of MYDEI's eidolons have undergone changes, and some of them are bound to make future MYDEI mains happy. Starting with his eidolon 1, instead of ignoring 12% defense, MYDEI's attack during Vendetta mode now ignore 15% of the enemy's defense. Additionally, since the HP loss tally mechanic has been reworked, the healing MYDEI receive now also contributes to faster charge point accumulation. The highlight of the changes is Eidolon 2. MYDEI's enhanced skill Godslayer Be God transforms into an AoE attack where all enemies take the same damage as the primary target. This makes Eidolon 2 his strongest upgrade because it allows him to shine in all endgame content, especially when dealing with multiple enemies. On the other hand, Eidolon 4 feels a bit less impactful. While in Death Proof state, MYDEI receives increased healing, which is helpful but not particularly extraordinary. Because of the changes to the HP loss mechanic, his Eidolon 6 still enables him to start Vendetta mode at the beginning of the battle, and his maximum charge point reduced by 100 points. This ensures MYDEI can frequently gain extra turns and use his enhanced skill Godslayer the God more often. Overall, Eidolon 2 stands out as the most valuable upgrade. Not only does it include the benefits of Eidolon 1, but it also allows MYDEI to clear groups of enemies more effectively, making him viable for content beyond the Memory of Chaos thanks to AoE potential it adds. As for his light cone, there are not any significant changes, only a few minor rewardings. When deciding between pulling for Eidolon 1 or his signature light cone, there are a few considerations. The damage difference between E1S0 and E0S1 is approximately 22.8%, which is quite substantial actually. However, while E1S0 deals slightly less damage, it improves MYDEI's efficiency in accumulating charge points through healing, allowing him to use Godslayer Begot more frequently. Additionally, it's worth noting that the chances of winning PT are generally higher when pulling for a light cone compared to pulling for a character's duplicate. Well, the choice ultimately depends on your preference. Would you go for his signature light cone or aim for E1? Please share your thoughts in the comments. So what relics would be ideal for MYDEI? In my opinion, Scholar Lost in Erudition is the most optimal option for him. Since MYDEI heavily relies on his enhanced skill to attack enemies and needs to activate his ultimate frequently, this relic set can significantly boost his performance. Other options like Pioneer are still viable because MYDEI's taunt effect is also considered a debuff. Additionally, while Westlander suits imaginary DPS characters, it can be challenging to fully maximize this passive, and farming its Cavern of Corrosion is not very efficient. The Disciple is another good option due to its bonus max HP, which synergizes well with MYDEI. However, since MYDEI doesn't struggle much with crit rate, this relic set might be a better used as 2P set, which you can pair with something like Pioneer. For the best planar ornament, the new set coming in the next patch will be ideal. It increases max HP, and with MYDEI's HP naturally exceeding 5000, he can easily activate its passive. As temporary alternative, you can use Eidolon Arena. Thanks to MYDEI's Trace 1, he can easily activate this set in-game. For main stats, prioritize crit damage or even HP for the body piece, speed for the boots, and HP for both the planar sphere and link rope. This will help MYDEI's HP reach 8000, which is crucial for maximizing his potential. When it comes to MYDEI's light cone, his signature LC is undoubtedly the top choice. Not only does it increase max HP, but it also boosts the amount of healing the user receives. On top of that, the 60% damage boost is a highly appealing buff, making this LC a perfect fit for MYDEI's kit. Among other 5-star options, Blade Signature LC is also a suitable choice for MYDEI. Since MYDEI can consume his own HP, the 24% damage boost from this light cone is very easy to activate. However, it's a bit disappointing that these two are the only viable 5-star LC options for MYDEI, at least for now. For 4-star light cones, we also have some solid choices. From a past event, there's the LC Ninja Record, which is the only F2P light cone that works well for MYDEI. It provides a boost to HP and crit damage, both of which are appreciated by this character. Given that MYDEI's kit is quite similar to Blade's, Secret Vow is also a viable option. With MYDEI's large HP pool and teammates who may struggle to keep up with his healing needs, the passive effect of this LC can easily activate, further amplifying his damage. As for Flames Afar, the damage boost it offers is intriguing, reaching up to 50% at full superimposition. However, this effect can only trigger once every 3 turns, which makes MYDEI's damage output less consistent. And here is a comparison of MYDEI's damage output using the mentioned light cones. For MYDEI's team composition, I believe the premium setup would feature MYDEI as the main DPS, with Sunday providing support through Action Advance and his ultimate, which is incredibly useful for restoring MYDEI's energy, which is something that has now become even more crucial. RMC serve as a source of true damage, allowing MYDEI's overall damage output to increase significantly. Of course, a healer is a must, and while Wocha is the obvious choice here, he can be replaced with Wok Wok, and the RMC slot can also be swapped with 3B. As of now, there is not a dedicated support specifically designed for characters with HP draining mechanics like MYDEI. However, this team composition should suffice, though it might not yet maximize MYDEI's full potential. Alternatively, you can try the Sustainless team, considering MYDEI's ability to self-heal and the significant damage buffs he recently received from Hoyoverse. So, is MYDEI a must-pull unit? Honestly, not really. If you observe, every new region introduces characters that are marketed as special. And unfortunately, that is not MYDEI. Instead, that spotlight seems to shine on the Herta, Castries, or perhaps Finon. If you don't already have an imaginary DPS like Rappa, pulling MYDEI could be a reasonable choice. Due to the HP inflation in several permanent content, Dr. Ratio is becoming less relevant for the current meta, so you can't rely on him as much as before. That said, remember that DPS units are more susceptible to power creep, especially MYDEI, who has not yet received a dedicated support character. Well, the choice is yours. Will you pull for him or save your resources? Share your thoughts in the comment box. And that wraps up the feed tree changes for MYDEI along with some possible builds. I hope the information in this video was clear and helps you to decide whether MYDEI is the right character for your account. What do you think about these changes? Are you satisfied or is there still something lacking? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button because I can't wait to see you all again in my next one. I will see you humans in the next video.